So we are finally out of Russia. Heading into Kazakhstan, we had a slight mishap with getting pulled over since I didn't have my lights on, even though it was day out, but that's a law that you just have to have them on all the time there. After having a quick discussion about that, we were headed on and realized that the roads were the worst we've ever seen. One thing with the dust, where we were getting stuck all the time, and another thing whenever your car not only is getting crushed, but also your spine is. The first city we came up to in Kazakhstan was Atyrau? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. In that city we met this funny old man that decided he wanted to be remembered, so he took us on a tour of the city to famous spots in the city, including the bank, a post office, and a couple other spots that I don't exactly remember what they were. After we got in for the tour, we had a couple drinks together. He opened a beer with his eye socket, and we found out that Corona is a top shelf beer there. They had never seen lime, so it was an experience for them to have the Corona with a lime, and it was an experience for us to share that. I won't forget you, Kategori. You're a weird dude. Also, thanks for the hat. The next day, the roads were not as bad because we were informed by the workers at the hotel we met Kategori at that the roads were much better if we went north and then down to Aktobe, where we were going to meet Bangers and Dash. Not much happened there. We headed towards Aktobe, and in Aktobe we met up with Bangers and Dash. But before we met up with them, while we were parking, we heard a clunk whenever we turned the wheel at the very end. We, upon investigation, found that the coil to our suspension had been broken. So the owner of the hotel we were stopping at decided he would take me in our car to a place where we can get some new coils and get them fitted. That was probably one of the worst drives I've had in my life, including the taxi drive that we took while we were in Makhachkala, which Russian taxis are as bad as the reputation states. They're in a hurry. But Kazakhstan drivers kind of just, since there are so many potholes and you have to get over on one side of the road, they kind of just play chicken and expect the other to move. I didn't enjoy that game, especially since we were in a British car, meaning I was on the side that was facing them the most. Whenever we got to the place, we finally found the right sized coils, but the seller refused to sell one to us, that we had to buy them in a pair. So we ended up just throwing the other one in the trunk and got the coil fixed. So later we met up with Bangers and Dash, and there was some unfortunate news from them. Their drive shaft had broken on the crappy roads and had to be shipped from Germany. It took them multiple weeks to get it shipped because the customs had it stopped and so many other reasons were just dragging down the shipping. So by the point they got the part, it was known that they didn't have enough time to make it all the way to Mongolia and back before one of them had a job starting. So it was at that point that we said goodbye and they headed back to England, while we continued on through Kazakhstan, making a stop in Astana, the capital.
Show them the cake. Cheesecake and beer. What a combination. Oh man, that looks so good. Oh, I saw today Cheesecake Factory has a Cinnabon.
No. No. cheesecake. You see what I mean? This just tastes dry.
And it's so good. It's just
It's not.
flaky.
After Astana, we headed through the rest of Kazakhstan. Nothing much happened after that. It was kind of a quiet drive. We just stopped in one place, slept the night, went to the next place, slept the night, then headed into Russia.
It's doing better than I was. That was a bad one.
Inside Russia was just one of the most gorgeous drives from that area to a city called Barnaul, which is where we stayed before we went to Mongolia. On the way there, we found this nice river, and right next to the river was this really nice, like, lodge-style restaurant that had some mountain deer, which is what I had, and it was just a really pretty area. Even the drive after that during the night was gorgeous. We got to drive through the mountains and see all kinds of stars, and ended up sleeping the night at Barnaul, which was kind of it was another capital like Mahachkala, except much larger, and had a lot more infrastructure. It was kind of a very modern looking city. That's where we're going to end before we head into Mongolia. Bye!